Hello, Facebook friends and family. Uh, Welcome to our Tuesday show with Revisit Healthcare. And today we have a great interview lined up for you. We're gonna be talking with Michael Goldberg. He's standing by, and he is a holistic health coach and author. He has several books available for you to download, and an internet-based health program you're going to be able to access. So we're going to give you all the links to all of those programs. So yeah, thanks for joining us. I'm always excited to have these conversations with our guests and with you as well, because this is just such a learning process of learning better ways to take care of ourselves, because chronic disease is running rampant in our society, and prevention is always easier than treatment. So one of the things that I like about all the health practitioners that we're talking to, and the health coaches, the authors, the success stories, is their capacity to teach us how to take better care of ourselves, because that's really what it comes down to, is self-care. And it's something that seems to really be lacking in our modern, ultra-scientific, conventional healthcare system, is the basic wisdom of taking better care of ourselves. We're kind of under the impression that if something's freely available in the marketplace, that it must be safe for us to consume. And that is just one of the biggest fallacies that we're living with in America. We just have access to all of this chemically processed and manufactured food and medicine, for that matter, and we just assume that our regulatory agencies are keeping us safe from any products that could be harmful. And nothing could be further from the truth. We're consuming products every day that are actually killing us. And we should know this intuitively, just based on how many years that tobacco was promoted as safe or even healthy for us to consume. The marketing from the tobacco industry left us thinking that it was completely harmless. And the regulatory agencies, well, they just kind of went along with things. And now we're paying the price. And so tobacco consumption has been a leading cause of many types of cancer, although it's not the only one, right? We're actually living in this chemical soup of products that are manufactured for our enjoyment, but definitely not for our health. So yeah, browsing around on the American Cancer Society website, they do a lot of talking about how tobacco cessation is going to be one of the leading ways to prevent cancer. However, they're highlighting that at the same time putting all the other sources of chemical toxicity in the dark. So yeah, it's tobacco is the leading cause of cancer, but there are many other ones. So yeah, as you're coming on to the show, come in and say hello. Oh, hi Elaine, welcome. Elaine is on from Boston. She is one of our regular guests. And anybody who comes on, if you're new, just type new in there so we can welcome you personally. And yeah, also just let us know where you're visiting from, where you're joining us from, so that we can kind of get a little perspective on the reach that we have. We're living in also at this time where we have unprecedented, environmental toxicity. There is a bright side, which is we have unprecedented information flow. And that's what's so exciting about what we're doing here is we're just getting information out that has been previously, suppressed. In fact, I don't think this is reaching too far, but we're coming out of about 100 years of health dark ages, kind of like a healthcare dark ages that started when the Flexner Report was published back in the early 1900s, which was basically a report put together by industry for industry's benefit. And it gave all medical precedence to chemical-based medicine. And any holistic or natural medicine was kind of deemed unsatisfactory. It was given low grades. And in the aftermath of that report, many holistic and homeopathic, naturopathic schools closed. So that kind of began our 100 years of healthcare dark ages. And we're coming out of that now. People are becoming aware of this symptom management, sick care system that we're in, and wanting to opt for more of a actual healthcare system where you treat the causes of your health issues rather than treating the symptoms. So Elaine, how are you? Thank you again so much for joining us. We know that you could be doing lots of things on this Tuesday morning. So it's really nice here in the Northeast. We're actually getting some spring-like weather. And we're actually going to start the regular show in about 2 minutes. I'm having a little trouble seeing who's actually on the show. There we go. So yeah, it's going to be a great show. Like I said, we're going to talk with Michael Goldberg, who's a holistic health coach and author. I'm having a little trouble seeing who is actually. Oops. All right, so one more minute and we're going to get going. So we are super excited because we're going to be talking about chronic disease with a special emphasis on cancer and how that can be reversed. So Michael is very knowledgeable and is going to give us access to several different books and programs that he has online. And we're going to get started now. Welcome to the Revisit Healthcare Tuesday show, where we're actually going to be talking with Michael Goldberg, who's a holistic health coach and author. He's published dozens of articles on easyarticles.com. He has natural cancer protocols published that you can review, and we're going to talk about the scientific evidence also for natural medicine to reverse cancer even. One of our biggest health challenges facing America today is cancer, and on the American Cancer Society website, it says nothing about reversing cancer, but we're going to talk to Michael about that. So we're going to bring Michael on and get the show started. Michael.
Hello. Hi, Steve. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm always, like I said, so excited about doing this because I learned so much that I just hope, that the people watching, if they learn what I do, then this has got to provide some value to them. So, again, getting a different perspective from different practitioners all over, it's truly awesome. So yeah, cancer is a big problem in our society. It's one of the leading causes of death. It's actually second leading cause of death in America. It's costing American taxpayers like $90 billion a year, and like 2 million people a year are diagnosed with cancer. So Michael, can you just give us maybe a quick background, like you did earlier, how you got introduced to natural medicine and its possibilities for actually reversing or treating disease outside of the conventional healthcare system, or even in addition to it?
Sure, I'd be happy to, Steve. I came across natural medicine, holistic medicine, about 10 years ago. And I was on a business trip in China. And in China, I learned about Qi energy. It's in Qigong and Tai Chi. It's all part of their culture. In Reiki in Japan, similarly, similar type of energy healing. And then I also was taught in China about the importance of food and diet, nutrition, and antioxidants in the diet. They have primarily a plant-based diet. They do eat some meat, but very little processed and foods. And their medicine is all, essentially at the time, was all holistic. It was plant-based supplements and herbs. It's in traditional Chinese medicine that you'll find all that. Very similarly to Indian Ayurvedic medicine, which is also plant-based and herbal. They don't have the proliferation of chemical-based drugs that we have. That you cited that report, and yes, that's when everything changed. The pharmaceutical industry was born about 100 years ago with all doctors who before that practiced holistic medicine, essentially using herbs and minerals and et cetera to cure people. But after the laws were changed and there were patents granted for chemical-based drugs, the pharmaceutical and medical doctor professions industry kind of took off at that point. And drugs became the way to go with treatment of disease in the United States, as opposed to the holistic methods that predated.
Yeah, I think the history is important to understand because we're here by design, and this show is on Facebook, so we try to keep it light. Try to keep I don't go into the politics here as much as we will in the future, actually, on the website. But it's very important to understand why, when you go to the doctor, you're getting the treatment that you're getting. It is an industry favored treatment. So just one of those things to understand. Actually, I'm gonna pull up an image here to kind of show us the scope of the problem. And you know, we're part of a business model. And actually, one other image I would like to pull up real quick before we start diving into the protocols. We did mention that cancer itself is a $90 billion a year industry.
Correct.
A lot of money. But let me pull this image up. This is a screenshot from the American Cancer Society's website. You know, this is all important to understand because when we're choosing our healthcare, we just want something that works, and we're not, you know, our life is worth more than whatever it costs.
Right.
But you know, natural and, you know, homeopathic, holistic protocols, well, they're not simple because they require massive lifestyle change in many cases, right? And
True. That's very true.
yeah, we want to definitely talk about that. But you can start to see why it doesn't fit into an industrial business model, and that's why we have to kind of take our health in our own hands if we really want to take a different approach. So Michael, yeah. And we're calling you Mike. Sorry, I just gotten in the habit of calling you Michael already.
That's fine.
And so, Mike, what do you see? Actually, I've got a little bit of an agenda on here, and yay, we met Mike, and we're gonna get into some protocols now. Now, Mike, would a cancer protocol be very different from protocols for other chronic diseases, or, you know, are there some that are specifically for cancer?
There's some that are specifically for cancer, but for the most part, the holistic approach, which is mind, body, and spirit, they apply to all preventing and reversing all chronic diseases. There is always some twist in terms of the supplements that you can take, different foods that are more appropriate for the disorder that you have, and the routine, depending on the chronic disease. But yeah, there's some specific specific holistic remedies that are focused for cancer as well, as opposed to some of the other chronic diseases. Specifically, supplements that help target the cancer cells. The key with preventing or reversing cancer would be is first and foremost diet changes in the diet, and that's for all chronic diseases. But the diet, especially for cancer, has to be plant-based, organic, and raw. Organic and raw is best. Salads, for example. Lots of vegetables, lots of dark green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, arugula, all very, very good. Lots of a variety of fresh, whole vegetables. Organic is best because organic doesn't contain the amount of pesticides and herbicides that are in non-organic plant-based foods. And absolutely must eliminate processed foods altogether. Cancer's fed by sugar and a pH balance that's acidic. So you want to move toward a pH balance that's alkaline with an alkaline diet, which is the organic plant-based diet, the raw diet. And you want to move away from foods that promote an acidic pH balance and a sugar in the blood, and that blood sugar is from processed foods, refined sugar, packaged foods, junk foods, etc. You got to get all that out. That's all feeding the cancer, the cells that are then spreading throughout the body, and also nuts, whole foods like nuts, seeds, whole grains, especially quinoa, very, very good. Seeds are amazing. Chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, all excellent.
Yeah.
Including the diet.
This is along the same lines then, like the Gerson therapy involves like organic juice.
Right.
So, I think by doing it in a juice form, it probably just makes it so you can consume more vitamins and minerals, right? As opposed to eating the whole food.
Yeah, I guess. I think you do want to supplement with whether you juice. You can juice the vegetables for sure. It may take out some of the fiber that's really good for cleansing purposes. But also you want to make sure you're taking a strong dose of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants every day in supplement form. That's another way of doing it. That's the way a lot of us do it now, and that's 10 to 20 times the recommended daily allowance of multivitamins is what I advocate. And antioxidants such as CoQ10 or ubiquinol, and turmeric or curcumin every day. Flaxseed oil supplements every day. Because all disease involves oxidation and inflammation, including cancer at the cellular level. All disease. So you want to take antioxidants and anti-inflammatories as well. And these are turmeric, curcumin, CoQ10 or ubiquinol. There are others that people take, antioxidants that are and anti-inflammatories that are very helpful. Fish oil, some people take for inflammation.
Absolutely. I just want to point out again, well, let me just back up again. For those of you who are just joining the show, we're talking to Michael Goldberg, actually from New Jersey.
Yep.
And he is a holistic health coach and author. We are going to put the links up to his books, which he's made freely available online. But yeah, these herbs and supplements and plants that you're talking about, if you're faced with cancer, God forbid, just start adding those. Well, you need to put those in your diet to the exclusion of everything else, right? Like no more sugar, no more processed foods. Like those things just need to go completely until you get, well, as long as you want to get rid of your cancer and stay cancer free.
Yeah, if I actually had cancer, I would not be eating meat or dairy because they put blood sugar. They also elevate blood sugar. Animal-based fats elevate blood sugar. So if I didn't have it, I was just trying to prevent it. I'd eat a little bit of it. It's fine, but not too much. You want to have primarily plant-based diet, even for prevention.
Right, and some of these superfoods you mentioned, the quinoa, the turmeric, different nuts and seeds. If you're not faced with cancer or a chronic disease, then you want to start putting those into your diet so that you can prevent. This is about prevention as much as it is about reversing disease. So,
right.
Yeah, I know most people are actually facing some kind of disease or symptom, and they're just signs that the body's malfunctioning. And
yeah,
I think
balance. With cancer, it's going to. Everybody has cancer cells, but they're going to spread if your immune system is compromised. So you need to boost your immune system. We need to boost our immune systems, and that's done not only through the plant-based diet, but also through the supplements and stress reduction. Stress reduction is very important as well. That's the mind and spirit part of mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah, and I don't think we really put enough emphasis on that in American culture. We're a little on the materialistic side, so unless it's something that we can see or touch. And we can kind of make that connection of something going wrong, then we don't give it enough emphasis. So if you find that you are living with some stress, so again, you have the symptoms of stress, like elevated. Sometimes you can just feel like the adrenaline running through your body. You just come home from work in kind of a frazzled state. That will actually cause disease. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And this where the emotional release techniques I write about, meditation techniques, mindfulness techniques, they're easy to practice and put into effect in our lives once you learn about them. But they're not something that's customary here in the West. But they're getting more popular, and you can see articles written about mindfulness now and meditation, stress reduction, getting away from the negativity, negative environments, negative people that drain you. You want to kind of boost your energy and boost your immune system through these mind, body, and spirit techniques that I write about, and that'll help prevent.
Yeah, we are learning in the West here. Qigong is something that I used it daily for a week before I actually started to notice a huge difference in my overall happiness, and it actually impacted many areas of my life from using it for a very short period of time. So I kind of go back and forth now. I have other things that I work in, but whether it's meditation or some type of prayer or qigong, finding something that works for you and fits in your lifestyle is extremely important, and finding ways to make that a priority in your life is going to be huge as far as prevention or reversal of chronic disease.
Yeah. Well, some people use yoga too now.
Yoga.
Popular.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is science on this.
Yes.
And that's another thing I wanted to do because, I understand that a lot of people get hung up on natural protocols because they don't feel there's any science around it.
Mm-hmm.
And through my research, I found that there is. And Mike, you sent me a link showing a great, scientific analysis of two doctors that were treating cancer naturally, and their cancer reversal rates were astonishing.
And those are the doctors here. They're naturopaths. For the most part, the statistical verification or validation of holistic methods comes from the cancer clinics in Mexico. That's because it's very difficult to use these holistic methods here in the States. All these medical people will go to oncologists, and they cannot use the holistic approach. They can only use surgery, radiation, and chemo. And the 5-year survival rate for those conventional methods is not good. But they are, for most forms of cancer, it's not good. I think for breast cancer, it's not terrible, but for other forms, prostate cancer might be okay too. But for other forms of cancer, it's not good. The 5-year survival rate for just plain conventional treatment. Now, people are using a combination, I see now, of an integrated approach, using some chemo and then holistic to boost up their immune system and their other metabolic systems, because chemo kills everything. It kills the cancer cells, but also kills the good cells as well.
Right. And it's something to consider. Like, you and I are both in some of these natural cancer groups, and you find that people are trying to use a natural approach, and then people get so scared that they feel they have to do chemo as well, which
Right.
is completely understandable. Keep in mind,
It's completely understandable. I'm not criticizing anybody.
yeah, everybody's healthcare choices are their own,
Right.
and their outcomes are their own. The only thing I wanted to highlight was that after losing a young person in our community, 30 years old, to cancer recently, almost immediately after starting chemo, I did a little research on it, and I did find that some people should not have it, and it can cause heart failure in some people.
Mm-hmm.
But the side effects, are widely available. You can learn that before taking any protocol. Learn what the side effects are, and decide for yourself if the benefit outweighs the risk.
I would always recommend to people to get more than one opinion from doctors if they were treating cancer, to go to more than one doctor to get opinions, to also include in their research naturopaths that have experience with cancer, to make a determination of their strategy for dealing with the disease.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that's a great point. So, an ideal healthcare model would include an assortment of practitioners, a team, if you will.
Yes.
And, maybe and a naturopath, I feel, should be part of that team. But also a health coach. I actually, this is why I wanted to interview Mike, was because a health coach could be that piece of the puzzle to add in that can actually help you make the much needed lifestyle changes when you want to get healthy.
Absolutely.
A naturopath can help you, give you the education and teach you and all of that. But still, they're going to have more time than a conventional doctor does. However, I feel if you are facing a big chronic health condition, having somebody, a health coach, who can actually help you make the shopping list, make the meal plan, make a daily, approach to changing the habits in your life that need to be addressed. That's a big missing piece in our healthcare system, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm actually grateful to see there are more health coaches becoming available and helping people with those sorts of things.
Well, I'm always available online and Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to highlight your books and you have an internet-based wellness program.
Right. And it's for free.
Yeah, that's the thing. None of this is for cost. The books are available for immediate download. I've started reading your. Let's see. I'm going to actually go over which books you have here. Well, the Ultimate Prevention and Wellness Program, the Holistic Protocol to Reverse Cancer, the Road to Happiness. That's a stress reduction program that I'm reading up on. The End of Mood Disorders, which is huge in this day and age where depression and anxiety are plaguing our culture.
Right. And the holistic methods for depression and anxiety are amazing. They work so well. I've worked with so many people. So many people are told, "Oh, well, you'll never get over this." That's what they always say with these diseases. You're going to be dependent on drugs forever. It's not true. It's a fallacy.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that, because that is another factoid that's very convenient for an industry that's selling a consumable product.
Right.
So yeah, it's a good business model, but when it comes to our health, it doesn't work.
Sure.
So yeah, I just want to thank you guys again for showing up. I know we had a couple people come in late. We actually have Joe there from the UK. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah. So we have a global audience.
Well, the other thing, Steve, I wanted to mention with the food is I didn't get in as to mention it. Failed to mention is the need for good gut health when it comes to the immune system, and that includes doing prebiotic foods and garlic, onion, etc., and probiotics. Taking probiotics, eating fermented foods like kimchi and kefir, kombucha, all really, really helpful as they boost the gut health. It'll help with the immune system as well, so that's important as well. But we were talking about the supplements that are good to target the cancer cells specifically, not just to boost the immune system.
Right.
And they include B17. It's in my articles, but people can read B17, which is now only available pretty much in apricot seed form. You can buy it on Amazon. You can't buy it as a powder. Wormwood and iron is very good in targeting cancer cells. And then in boosting the immune system, supplements are so good. Like there's like bee propolis and oregano oil supplements and olive leaf extract supplements and vitamin C, green tea supplements, colloidal silver, all these things, and colloidal minerals, all these things will help boost the immune system along with the vitamin protocol and the diet, which the diet is a vitamin-based diet and mineral-based diet. That's where you find the vitamins and minerals in plant-based foods. They'll help boost the immune system to fight the disease, to fight the cancer cells.
Yeah, so I definitely encourage everybody to check out the protocols because we can, because there are so many beneficial and helpful vitamins, minerals, like you said, supplements, extracts that we can add into our regular diet, preferably in a whole food form. But if you can't get it in a whole food form, then absolutely, find a high quality supplement and start incorporating those. But, I've read somewhere, I'm sorry, I can't give proper reference to this, but this doctor said that there were over 300 known cures for cancer, in the plant mineral world. And that could be supplements or techniques or, these are natural methods. And, like you were saying, Michael, you've got this whole list. And it's important to, if you are trying to reverse a chronic disease like cancer, it's important to incorporate as many of those things into your diet as you can.
Yeah. And Steve, also to avoid toxins as much as possible. Get them out of your diet, get them out of either drink pure water, filtered, distilled spring water, drink green tea, but also to get to do detoxification on a regular basis once or twice a year at least. And it's all in my book on books and articles on how to detoxify and get the chemicals and heavy metals that we absorb out of our system. Avoid the toxins. Don't buy organic soap, buy organic lotions. Don't be putting chemicals in your on your body and in your body as much as possible. I know it's not possible to avoid all, but to a great extent, we want to avoid as much as possible. These are carcinogens that are in the food, that are in the lotions, that are in the soap.
And that is, that's such a great point because we overlook the things that we're putting on our skin. We're washing our hair, we're shaving our skin. We are using all of these different products and not considering the ingredient list on those, right? So,
yep.
And this is like we were talking, Mike, earlier about industries that there is one industry that you can find supplying our healthcare industry, our food industry, our agriculture, our personal care industry, and that is the chemical industry. They are the supplier for all of these industries. And if you're using those products, there's very little oversight. You've got to take matters in your own hands. You've got to read the ingredients, and if you don't know what it is, or if it sounds like a chemical compound, then you might want to find another way. There are tons of ways to wash yourself, to condition your hair, to shave without using this toxic soup of chemicals. So
yeah, we think of ourselves that we're solid, but no, we're as living matter. We absorb the chemicals we put on our body into our bloodstream. It goes right in.
Yeah, it's so easily overlooked. I definitely appreciate you pointing that out.
Sure.
So, I want to open it up for questions. That this is such a deep topic. We can go into the protocols, and we could be here all day with that. But sure. Mike has free access to tons of information online. I did put a link, Mike, to your Activate Your Health site. And folks, if you want to check that out, that has the wellness program on it, correct?
Yeah, that has the wellness program on it.
Okay, so that is something you can do. And if you have any questions right now, we'd love to touch on those. Now, as far as we're actually running down to the end of the clock right now. So, Mike, what is what are some of the other places that people can find you online? I will put those links up into the
Sure.
comments.
You can reach me on Facebook. I have 2 pages: Michael Goldberg, Michael E. Goldberg, and Mike Gold. And you can send me a message on that. Send me messages on Twitter, Michael E. Goldberg on Twitter, or just my email is Mike Goldberg 488888@gmail.com. Mike Goldberg, one word, 888848@gmail.com. Feel free to contact me that way as well. I have lots of articles on holistic health that I archived on ezine.com that you can see, including all the treatment of all chronic diseases through holistic methods. I don't go into conventional methods. That's for other people to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Mike, we're not going to close the show completely yet. I want to go into a rapid fire question and answer section here right before we finish.
Okay.
And there's some things that may not be 100% relevant to the conversation, but that's okay. Mike, who has inspired you the most in your life?
Wow, that's so hard to say. My father-in-law, I would say.
Okay. And actually, I read about your father-in-law. He was a Merck scientist, right?
Yeah, he was the head of Merck's research. And later I learned he passed away, but that he wanted to bring natural products to Merck. They had natural products division. So, but they didn't go for it, I guess. They did have a natural products division that they spun off. I don't think there's much money that you can make in natural products like you can with drugs. But he was doing so much research before he died in mushrooms and the healing impact aspect of mushrooms. So, like, for example, I've learned through holistic research later how great Asian mushroom supplements are for boosting the immune system. That's the reishi, shiitake, miyatake mushrooms. So that's another thing they can use for boosting the immune system. So yeah, he was on target. He was on target. He would always go around the world collecting natural plants and trying to figure them out.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, we are big fans of mushrooms. That's really cool that he was researching that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mike, what do you see as the biggest challenge facing healthcare reform, whether that's quality or availability or the whole picture?
Money. The money that's in conventional medicine is resisting, seems to be resisting an integrated approach. It's hard. For instance, it's hard to get things published in conventional in the ordinary media. That's really truly holistic in nature. You have to go to natural path magazines and websites. You have to do things mostly for free to get the information out. So it's like any other thing that's non-conventional. The access to the information is sometimes difficult, and to get, and it's difficult to get out somewhat. But it's better than ever now in terms of going to research and figuring things out through research. But it's difficult to get things published in a conventional mainstream way. And I did talk, one editor I was sending my articles to did say to me, he was very honest. He said to me, Mike, we get like 75% of our revenue from drug companies, probably the rest from food and alcohol companies, and your articles go against all that. So are you going to bring sponsors to it? And I'm like, no. I mean, I smiled because I understand the challenge, and that's the challenge, is the money that's involved in conventional, and even to stopping an integrated approach, which most of us advocated, integrated with, integrating holistic with conventional medicine. But so that's the challenge. That's the big challenge.
Yeah, and I'll just add to it, in case anybody's not aware, that the American healthcare industry is approaching 1/5 of the American economy. So, yeah, 18 to 20% of our economy is actually spent on healthcare. So it's supporting a lot of livelihoods.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what's your vision of an ideal healthcare system of the future?
Well, my vision would be an integrated approach with a lot of health teaching and education. Most of holistic is people taking control of their own health with the knowledge and the tools. It's not that complicated, but it means going against really transforming your life and lifestyle, transforming your lifestyle with the information education. So the ideal system would be a system that's based on prevention and wellness and on healing and curing, and not just managing symptoms and maintaining the body and the person and to live in a diseased state before they die. That would be on the conventional side. I'd like to see a lot more technology developed in connection with the immune system, boosting it, helping it, improving it. I think there's movement in that direction in conventional medicine. Also, with conventional medicine, you see innovations like stem cell therapy that seem to work. It seems to work. So that's all. I mean, I would love to see more innovation, and the orientation should be in not managing symptoms, but in curing people and preventing illness. And I know that goes against economic interests of different groups, but so be it. Other groups will do well. You know, things will change. Other industries will have their benefit from that system.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I share that vision as well, and I do understand there is a place for science, and science could actually bring things to a healing level in healthcare, and that would certainly be refreshing. One of the things that I think this shift would bring is it would bring a lot of the money from multinational corporations back to communities. Like if we had a community-based healthcare that was sourced and supplied locally for a large part, it would be really nice for communities.
Oh yeah, it would be great to have community healthcare systems where people can go for lectures, go for the information, go for the help in preventing and reversing disease. Money would come back to biotech and the biotech industry and the venture capitalists that are trying to fund innovations in medicine. So that would be good too. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, this is Steve Duffy. I've been talking to Mike Goldberg, activateyourhealth.com. Check out, follow his link, and you can find his wellness program freely available there. And I'll actually put in the show notes some of the other websites that Mike has books available on. Again, free to download. It's not going to cost you anything to get the information and start putting some of the things into effect. So again, what Mike does as a health coach can be that intermediary where the doctor says, quit smoking and start exercising. You get to be like, well, how do I do that? There are techniques, there are tools, and somebody like Mike can actually show you how to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing I want to add, I usually put it in at first. Nothing that we talk about on the show should replace your advice from your doctor. Don't change anything you're doing without consulting your healthcare practitioner.
Absolutely.
and be responsible in that way. All right. So, any other questions before we get going, guys? I really want to thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. Yeah, Mike, it's been a pleasure. We really appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us, and
Pleasure.
I do look forward to getting through some of your books and sharing some of that knowledge in future episodes, actually, if that's okay.
Sounds great.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and sign off from the Revisit Healthcare page on Facebook. And thanks again, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Steve. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mike.